Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Wow, is that bright? Is that light bright or what? Oh my goodness. Take that light down a bit. There we go. Thank you, Mary Brockman. Mary Brockman says this is her favorite shirt. Thank you all so much for tuning in to us via live stream, via Ustream, also via SHR Media live and Red Nation Rising at the 2 a.m. Liberty Channel. Love you. Thank you so much. And all the other places that listen to us. The Exceptional Conservative Show live for the nation's capital. We are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation. First to the Republican and then the Socialist. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we got a jam-packed show tonight. We really do. I want you to put your seatbelts on. Tremendous guests for this particular hour. Lavonda Daniels, North Carolina African American Heritage Commissioner, will be with us using God's gifts to hustle for success in the Madam C.J. Walker Project of Washington, D.C. We'll be talking with her about that. Janis Hall, the J. Hall World Report. She'll be talking with us about McMaster declining to say whether the Western Wall is in Israel, the hack, the ransomware, and so much more tonight. And I'm going to introduce to some and present to others the second business person that will be joining our network from Austin, Texas. Lacee Steigerwald will be joining us. She is the second hostess on TECN.BIZ. She will be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4 p.m. from 4 to 6, and we'll be talking with her about what she plans on doing with her particular program and show. Also, I want to make an announcement tonight. First and foremost, Mary Brockman is in the chat room. I love you, Mary Brockman. Mary Brockman is my bouncer. If you diss her, you diss me, you will be whoop, 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 dismissed from our particular program. I want to make the announcement that starting this Thursday, the Kraken will be on the air with us at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. He will be the show before mine on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. You will be able to catch him on SHR Media and wherever else he broadcasts from. And we are excited by that particular change. We are growing by leaps and bounds, and we will exceed any expectation. Especially, and in fact, I really want your expectations to be very low of us. Those are very much easier to exceed. I want you all to get prepared as we always do. Our young people lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America. It's very easy. One of the first things you learn is you take your right hand, you put it over your heart, just like this. You take off your hats and all the other stuff, and then you repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. Here we go. Take it away, kids. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're off to a great start this particular evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Claudia has joined us. Love you, Claudia. Smooches, glad to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, this very wonderful young woman who is currently working on the Madam C.J. Walker Project here in Washington, D.C., is about to join us. And the reason why I wanted her on tonight is because I wanted her to give a message. This is graduation week and graduation month going into June. Everyone's graduating. But you need inspiration, true inspiration, not something that someone gets paid to say to you, but an actual life journey. And this young woman's journey in life has been exceptional. And without further ado, I want to introduce to some and present to others Miss Lavonda Daniels, who is an African American, a commissioner on the North Carolina African American Heritage organization. She is a super brainiac when it comes to business incubators and entrepreneurialism, and part of Daniel's development group, where their focus is on developing, connecting, growing business strategy through sessions with private business owners. So without further ado, I want to introduce some and present to others the very well educated and the very beautiful Miss Lavonda Daniels.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Well, you're an amazing superstar. I'm looking, I can't read everything that's on your bio. It's just simply amazing, your life journey. I may have spoken to Kevin and you earlier and told you all that 13% of the listening audience on TECN is out of Washington, D.C. Now, and you and I both know it's not that many conservatives in Washington, D.C., except for those who happen to be on Capitol Hill. So a lot of people are tuning into this particular program because of the passion that we have and the commitment we have to increasing the lives of others. And so if you would, let me begin with this question, because you're a super brain and you didn't need nobody's help and you were all right on your own, and everything was a silver spoon in your mouth and you were great and successful from the beginning, right?
Oh, no, that was not my story.
Tell us your story.
No, well, my story began, I wasn't from an urban city, but I was from a little mountain town called Princeton, West Virginia, where I'm sure many people are saying, are there actual Black people in West Virginia? That's what I get a lot of times. But, I had great parents who did the best they could. And I realized later on that my grandfather, he was the one that told our whole family that you can be and do anything you want. So he instilled in us that mindset that we could be and do anything we wanted. And he also stressed the importance of education and community and family. And I know from that foundation, I was able to become the best that I could be, even though there's life challenges and problems. I know those three structures really helped me excel in life. And so,
you have 2 degrees. You have 2 degrees in entrepreneurship and in marketing from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. You've been in corporate levels most people never get to, and you worked on multi-million-dollar business deals. And most people are looking at you tonight, and we're going to go to a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk with you about this. Most people look at you and saying, this must have been easy for you. And when we come back, I want you to talk to a lot of young people who are listening to us on the down low, and explain to them exactly what it took for you to become the great woman that you are. Tonight, we're talking with Ms. Lavonda Daniels, and we're going to focus tonight on innovation and entrepreneurialism. We want you to succeed, and we want you to achieve, and we want you to be the best that you can be. We'll be right back with more of the best in urban conservative talk right after these messages.
So what do you think about ebooks? Maybe you've never read an ebook before, but you're considering giving it a try. Or maybe you've been reluctant to try ebooks because you don't want to buy another expensive electronic device. Or maybe you already enjoy ebooks, but you haven't been able to find titles from your favorite Christian authors. Whatever your situation, ChristianBook.com has the solution. Your trusted source for print books for over 30 years now offers ebooks. Our always free CBD reader allows you to read on the devices you already own without spending money on a new device. Thousands of Christian ebooks at ChristianBook.com means you can shop with confidence and choose from the titles you want. Plus, we are adding new titles all the time. Browse our huge selection of low-priced Christian ebooks the same way you would printed books, only now you can go from shopping to reading in seconds. Simply select the ebook you wish to purchase, confirm your account information, and start reading. Free samples of every ebook are available, so you can preview the book first, before you buy it. Plus, there's no lengthy app downloads and updates. Accessing the CBD Reader is as easy as going to cbdreader.christianbook.com and bookmarking the page. The CBD Reader holds your ebooks and bookmarks for you, no matter what device you're on. So, you can take your entire ebook library wherever you go and pick up right where you left off. Our customizable options make it possible to read your ebooks in different font sizes and styles. Want a large print version? You've got it in seconds with a simple click of the mouse. Already own a dedicated e-reader? Download your ebooks to your computer from your christianbook.com account and transfer them to your device. Try ebooks at christianbook.com and start reading your favorite books in seconds. Easy, economical, everywhere you want to read. Welcome to christianbook.com ebooks.
And ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you back to the Exceptional Conservative Show live from Washington, D.C. We have a tremendous guest with us tonight, a super achiever, not only in the classroom, but also in business, Ms. Lavonda Daniels. With us tonight, she's part of the C.J. Walker project here in Washington, D.C., and we'll get a chance to talk about that. But where we left off, first and foremost, brilliant woman. I mean, from West Virginia, most people would think that your only interest would be basically making a family and basically just living a good life per se. What motivated you to get into the realm of business and to become as successful as you were?
Well, it all started with a dream and a vision inside of me, and I'm not even sure I put that there myself. I think that I was graced with the dream and the vision to become a business owner. It was just this hunger inside of me that I just had this hunger to be a business owner. And even in high school, I would try different business sales, just trying to do little different projects. I had my different hustles that I would try. And my dad, he was a salesman. And so I would always bring my projects to him and say, "Daddy, I want to sell this," and he would try to help me a little bit. And
now
so that was just
Lavonda, you say sales, and it's tremendous to have a father who was in the craftsmanship of sales. But that's one of the things that most people don't want to do when it comes to they will write papers, they will measure books and everything, they will get the numbers together, but to sell, it takes some gumption to sell. What are some of the techniques that you use, and how did your father train you up in the business of selling and selling yourself?
Wow, my dad, he is type A personality, loves people. He's actually he has an MBA. He works in accounting, bookkeeping, and it's just his personality. He never meets a stranger. He loves his community, and so I saw that all the time. And it was more so the face-to-face, getting to know you, sharing who I am, seeing how we can connect. And I know those foundational principles came from me watching my father interact with his clients in the community. And I have the same kind of personality. I love people. If it's something that I like, that I believe in, sales is about that. It's about something you believe in that you can share with someone else that they have that need. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I have tried to sell some things that weren't me,
that's the thing, because I know that there are lots of men and women out there. The unemployment rate is especially high in urban America, especially for Black men between the ages of 20 and 30. And so most of these individuals are thinking, if I have to do a sales job, it's going to be something that I don't like. I'm going to have to sell, something that drills into a potato to make it a better French fry. So I'm going to sell something I don't want. How did you discern what was something you wanted to sell and what was something you didn't want to sell? And even stuff that you didn't want to sell, did you adjust yourself to meet the need of the client?
Well, I would say that the things that I didn't really want to sell, I moved on to something else. And I'm talking about when I was, younger,
Yeah.
trying out different business models. And one of my jobs in corporate America, it was a great business, but I knew that I wanted to do my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did get great training
Mm-hmm.
and information and contacts, but then I translated that into my own business.
Mm.
And so, sometimes we have to do those things that we don't like to do to get those skills and then transfer them over into our own businesses.
Exactly. Now, at age 18, you were sparked by the entrepreneurial bug. And you also studied that at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, entrepreneurialism and marketing. And one of the highlights of your collegiate life was that you got a chance to work at a business incubator. What was that like, and what was that all about?
Well, once again, I was doing some research and the topic business incubation just popped out of the page. And so I just kind of want to say to those who are studying, pay attention to those things that you make a connection with. And I
Mm-hmm.
really made a connection with business incubation. And in my studies, I actually that was why I went to UNCG Greensboro, because they actually had an incubator in Greensboro,
Wow.
and that was also where my parents graduated from college.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's where I'm going to go, and I want to work at this incubator. I want to get this experience.
Mm-hmm.
And but before that, I had a foundation in program development with the community.
Wow.
I had worked on a lot of different programs for children, educational, nutritional, social programs for children. And that was actually where I got my first development skills
Mm-hmm.
in developing programs. And when I went to school at UNCG, that was when those skills transferred over into business development.
Mm-hmm.
And the space for that for me at that time was business incubation.
Now,
And so, yeah,
yeah,
I followed my heart.
yeah, which is the best way, because a lot of people say I need to follow the money. What you just said was so vital. You need to follow your heart. The money will follow you following the heart. But there is some mother, some father who right now the summer's right around the corner. Their kids getting ready to, either graduate or end their school year, and they're going to sit on the couch and watch TV or play video games for the rest of the summer. Should a child basically zone out for 3 months, or should they be involved in entrepreneurial pursuits?
They have to have a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it is, I know I was graced with one of the best mothers in the world. She just served us so well as children. I mean, she put us in everything we were interested in and supported all of our endeavors and exposed us to so many creative things and things in the community. She was just an awesome woman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's an educator, actually. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, she's an educator, and she was about our personal development. So my advice to any parents out there is, focus on your child's personal development, the things that they like,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll show you their gifts, and then you just continue to help them develop them and teach your children that failure is okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
teach your children failure is okay.
But my children,
So,
my children are supposed to be perfect because I wasn't.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
okay.
that's not reality. Everybody fails,
Exactly.
and that's something that I had to learn even as a parent now.
Mm-hmm.
My son's completely different from me, and it's fine. I'm
Yep.
more of a brainiac. He's more of a I
Mm-hmm.
want to be social.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
he different from me. He learns different from me, and so I have to learn how he is and how he fits in to the whole picture. So
Exactly. Now you're part of the Madam C.J. Walker project here in Washington D.C. And a lot of people don't know, especially in this generation, who I mean, I grew up and all I heard was Madam C.J. Walker, become like her, be a millionaire like her, which is probably why I'm dating myself. But and but who, if you could explain to everybody, who was Madam C.J. Walker and why is she so pertinent to our culture today?
Madam C.J. Walker was an African American businesswoman who employed around 20,000 employees with her business.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can Google her and just read up about her. But in the time that she was, I mean, that was a miracle,
Mm-hmm.
in those times that a woman, and especially an African American woman, could achieve that success. And so the C.J. Walker Foundation embodies her legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And her great granddaughter, I believe, is on the board. And if you Google Madam C.J. Walker Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and they've actually gathered together African American businesswomen, women of color, business owners from around the nation to inspire and educate and mentor African American entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
and young ladies and college students. And so this is a movement. I mean, this is a movement we've needed for a while, and I'm just so grateful and honored to be a part of this movement. The
Mm-hmm.
program in DC is called. Well, actually, the program is in 4 states.
Okay.
But there's 2 sites in DC. The site that I'm at is at the Rise Demonstration Center,
Mm-hmm.
off of Martin Luther King in the St. Elizabeth East neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And the program is called Moms Who Hustle.
All right.
So
All right.
it is, yes, Moms Who Hustle. And so we're focused on single mothers who have side businesses that want to go to another level, or they're thinking about an idea. And we're actually still taking applications. So if anyone is interested or knows anyone that would be interested, the program is designed for 18 to 24-year-olds
Mm-hmm.
who are moms, of course.
Yeah.
And it's around building up, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, education, and helping them link to a network of mentors and women business owners to bring that to their community.
Listen, Moms Who Hustle, that is a tremendous program. That's part of the Walker's Legacy Foundation, and the whole concept behind Walker's legacy is she never used her race as the reason why she wasn't successful. She never sat back and said Jim Crow is going to stop me from being a millionaire. She had much more difficult things to deal with in terms of legacy in building her $1 million corporation. She had much more things to deal with, but she overcame them. The single mom today has to deal with the fact that in Washington, D.C., you're considered poor if you earn less than $100,000 a year. They have to work a lot. They got to find daycare for their kids. How does this particular movement, Moms Who Hustle, help individuals make that transition from being dependent on a job to get them through to actually being a creator of jobs?
And I forgot one of the most important things. We actually have free childcare.
Really?
Because, yes, we want. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, we want this to be a space where the mothers can actually focus on themselves.
Wow.
And so we have free childcare.
Okay. See, that knocks me out the window already. You know what I'm saying? That you're not only giving them the skill sets that they need to start their own businesses, but you're actually going to provide childcare so that they don't have to worry about holding their baby and while you're talking with them, whatever. There is someone that's going to provide. Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, we have a local childcare business called Tiny Treasures.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Morgan, who is providing childcare for our mothers. And the program is also designed because we know how busy mothers are, and well, people are busy. 1 week we're on site, and the next week we communicate through our virtual application. And so we do that off and on for 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so over that 12 weeks, what is it that this single mother is going to get? I mean, their programs are out there on the welfare to work and workforce development, and they train them how to put bed sheets on the bed, and that's basically it. Now go out and get a job. What is exactly you all? What is your process for getting people prepared to start their own businesses?
So the first 6 weeks is focused around financial education,
Mm-hmm.
which we talk about everything to help them begin to get their finances in order.
Wow.
Banking, credit, investing, saving. I mean, anything that you can think about. And then the second 6 weeks is where we dig a little bit more into their business as far as their business model, how they're going to make money,
Mm-hmm.
their marketing, branding, their network, their business plan.
Mm-hmm.
So, that we want to make sure that they have an excellent foundation.
Yeah.
Because, business is like building a home. Anything you build, you have to have a good foundation. And so we want to make sure their foundations are laid and they're ready to, if they haven't started their business, they'll be ready to launch. And if they have, then they'll be ready to go to another level.
Okay. Now,
and also,
this is just simply amazing. In Washington, D.C., there's this program that could actually help a woman in 12 weeks get prepared to start her own business. You do financial literacy, so you take care of the basic needs of the individual and get them prepared for eventual needs credit-wise in the future. And you also empower them with the mechanisms to actually do their business. You do that over 12 weeks, and then you don't impede on their time by using technology. This is just simply amazing. And quite frankly, this is filled up, right?
No, it's not. And we're so the DC site,
Mm-hmm.
because it's, DC, Maryland, Virginia, we had a lot of applicants from outside of DC. But for the DC site, we need residents who live in DC.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow.
And so that's what we had a lot, that's what happened. A lot of our applicants weren't from DC. And also the age group for this site is 18 through 24.
Okay, yes. And I can understand why that's so important. And so if
Yes.
18 to 24, and you're helping them, and normally this is a group of single mothers who are dependent on public assistance, maybe have one or two kids, and are looking to turn their lives around from dependency on government to actual empowerment to do their own thing. There are people listening right now in Washington, D.C. that did not know that this existed. I'm one of those people. And how can we help you promote this? How can people get in contact with you if they're open spots? How can we get these sisters to fill those open spots so that they're not dependent on welfare and jobs that are not going to pay them well long term?
If they can Google Walker's Legacy Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
or even Google Moms Who Hustle Washington, D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
they will go to a page where they can hit the DC fight button to apply. It's a very short application. They can also send me a direct email, but all the information is on the Walker's Legacy Foundation site, Moms Who Hustle page.
Exactly.
And I'm not done.
Mm-hmm.
We were graced to be able to find a grant to pay the mothers up to 20 hours
Are you
a
serious?
week.
Are you serious? Oh my God! Can I be a single mother now and do this? Oh my God! And you still have slots available? I am irate now. How is it you have slots available? You're gonna pay people to become wealthy? Oh my God! Uh, I'm sorry. Oh my God! And this is the Moms Who Hustle program, and this is out of Washington D.C. And this is at St. Elizabeth Hospital, which is right on the A8 W4 line.
Yes,
Oh my God!
yes, at 8-8, and it's right there at the Rise Demonstration Center.
Oh my. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need you all to do me a great favor. In all sincerity, I need you all to do me a great favor. I need you to make a copy of the link that I just put in. If you're in Washington D.C., and even if you're not in Washington D.C., if you know some folk in Washington D.C. and you know Shaniqua been sitting on that couch talking about she don't know what to do with her life, this is the opportunity to help her get started with her life mission, getting her finances together, helping her establish credit, helping her build a budget for her family, helping her learn how to put the mechanisms together so that she can learn how to build a business that pays her more than working at the Church's Fried Chicken. And listen, Moms Who Hustle, a financial planning and entrepreneurship program for millennial moms. If you're 18 to 24 in Washington, D.C., and I know that they have it in Newark, well, they have it in other places as well. But if you're 18 to 24 in D.C., especially Southeast D.C., where there are very few owner-operated businesses, especially for African Americans, you need to have your daughter, signed up in this program immediately. You're going to get paid and also get childcare and also have technology. Oh my God. How can people get in contact with you, Lavonda?
Um, they can email me, lrdaniels718@gmail.com.
Okay. And that's lrdaniels718@gmail.com. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody who's listening to me right now in Washington, D.C., there is no longer excuse. Don't be blaming the white man. No longer any excuses. You can actually get your daughter to learn how to become a millionaire no matter what plight she started her life off with. She can end it fabulously like Madam C.J. Walker. Again, make certain that you get in contact with Lavonda Daniels at ldaniels718@gmail.com. I will post this on the Facebook page. I want you all to get out there as best that you possibly can and fill up these spots. Every single one of these spots. How many spots you got left?
So it's lrdaniels
Mm-hmm.
718@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
As of, I believe we have about 10 more spots.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna do everything that we can that by Friday you ain't got no more spots. And forgive my French.
Sounds great. Yes. Yes. I mean, yep, they can get in contact with me, or they can go directly to the site and just fill out the short application, and we'll get back with them as soon as possible.
Terrific.
And, you know, I wanted to add that this program is dear to me because I actually have that testimony. I actually walked that path of being a single mother who had a dream to have a business. And, you know, I was on, assistance, Section 8, welfare, and I used those resources to help me propel myself to becoming a business owner. I got financial aid to go back to school, and I worked it. And it wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
My son, he went everywhere with me. He did everything with me. And it wasn't easy, but I did it. And I know that if I did it, then all those other mothers out there who have that dream can do it.
Exactly. Listen, Lavonda, it's been a great privilege and honor to have you on the air with us tonight. I want to thank you for dropping this nugget of wisdom and opportunity to all of us here at the Exceptional Conservative Network. We're going to do whatever we can to make certain that by the end of the week, these 10 spots are taken. Absolutely. There is no reason in the world, while there's so much poverty in D.C., that 10 spots are still open. And they can get in contact with you at L.R. Daniels, DANIELS, the number 7, the number 1, the number 8 at gmail.com. Thank you so much, Lavonda, for being with us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Lavonda Daniels, she is with the Madam C.J. Walker Project in Washington, D.C. There are 10 spots available where women get paid, single mothers get paid 18 to 24. Single mothers getting paid to learn how to become business women. You can do it, and we're going to make certain that it gets done. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. I know that I ran over, but we will be right back with more of the best in urban conservative talk. And please get this out there to everybody. There's no reason in the world anybody should be broke.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Christopher Arnold. I'm the executive chef of Infused Restaurant, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the meals that we prepare here. We're making a pizza. We use fresh Italian sausage that we cook here and slice it up. Our pizza dough is in-house made. Our pizza sauce is in-house made. So everything is fresh and ingredients. This is our Thai curry chicken. The sauce is made with coconut milk and the Thai red curry. It is juicy chicken thighs as well as some mixed vegetables, served with jasmine rice and pita bread. So now we're going to prepare our famous blackened tilapia and grits, our fish and grits on the menu. The fish is ready and our meal will be complete. Let me tell you about our infused beef burgers. So we kick the spice up just a little bit with our infused sauce. We start off with 80-20 USDA round chuck ham patty burgers, like half a pound of burgers, and we're going to grill it to perfection. After I flip the burger, pepper jack cheese to this burger. Spice it up a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland. That is the place to be this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. There is no other thing you can do this weekend outside of going there.
Featuring right thinking from the left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America, one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making of this ad. Featuring right thinking from the left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fun.
You probably know that now is a great time to refinance, like the Johnsons, who saved $436 a month.
$436 a month?
It's simple. Just go to lendingtree.com, compare loan offers for free, and see how much you could save in just 5 minutes.
I thought you said the bank gave you the best rate.
Yeah.
Lending Tree. When banks compete, you win.
I have to do everything myself.
Someone is sleeping on the couch tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to the Exceptional Conservative Show live for the nation's capital. We certainly are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation. First to the Republicans and then the socialists. Listen, and ladies and gentlemen, there are so many things that are going on in this particular world. We're going to get a chance to talk with none other than Janis Hall of the J. Hall World Report in a little bit about some of the things that are happening around the world. Of course, someone whispered in the ear of somebody at the Washington Post that Donald Trump was destroying the world. And if you didn't stop him from giving out the secrets that were given to him by or allowed per se by the Israelis, that the whole world was crumbling, and that you need to, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something. There is no fact, and this is why we're not going to even deal with this subject matter. There are lots of subject matters that we haven't dealt with and haven't spent a lot of time on. And I know a lot of people say, hey, Ken, why don't you talk about this? And why don't you talk there? Listen, I am not going to spend my time dealing with the non-issues when there's so many other issues in the world to deal with. First and foremost, there is nothing to the collusion statement of the Democrats. The Russians did not convince 65 million Americans to vote for Donald Trump. They just didn't. I wish they were. I wish there was a country effectual like that. But ladies and gentlemen, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then I want you to understand something. The gentleman that you elected on November the 8th to be president of the United States of America in 2016, you made him president. You also made him chief ambassador for our country. You also made him commander-in-chief. You also made him the chief of the intelligence agencies, which means he has the absolute right to classify or declassify anything he wants, whenever he wants. Now, I'm not talking about, telling somebody exactly where the vice president stays in case of crisis or something like that. Remember, Joe Biden did that. President Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden did that. Giving away trade secrets. No. I'm not talking about that. Or reaching over to the president of Russia and saying after the election it'll be easier for me to do things with you. No, nothing like that. But when you tell me that the number one story that you have on the Washington Post today is that someone who is leaking information from inside the White House is reading to you, and at the Department of Justice as well, and in other places, but someone is reading to you a memo that the FBI leader, Comey, has written out to keep in a private file just in case he needs it, and that person found it and is reading. And first of all, we know it's not someone found it. Comey took it with him and he's reading it and telling you that Donald Trump told him, and this is hearsay at this point because you just been fired from your job and now you're striking back at the president of the United States. If you had some evidence before, you should have used it then. But literally, you're asking the American people to believe that you, the disgruntled employee who feels completely embarrassed by the fact that you didn't go through with your job of prosecuting, or at least recommending the prosecution of Hillary Rodham Clinton, you're telling me that you got a piece of paper with you and you're reading it over the phone to somebody. That means nobody's seen it at the Washington Post. No one's seen it at the Wall Street Journal. No one's seen it at the LA Times. No one's seen the paper. It's just been read to them. And you're telling me that you believe that? I got some swampland to sell you at a very nice price. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to understand one of the major reasons why I want us to create this conservative news network is so that from where we are in Washington, D.C., we're able to refute the crap that's coming out from the bureaucrats. Now, I don't know the last time you elected a bureaucrat. I don't know when that election was. It may have been an off-year election of some type, but a bureaucrat in Washington, D.C., who's been fired, who is motivated for revenge. I don't know. Listen, I'm not even an attorney, and I'm already looking to tear this case apart right here. Okay? There is nothing to any other stuff that the left is throwing at this point. The House investigation can't go anywhere because they don't have the resources to do anything about it. Just hearsay. The Senate is in the same predicament. The only investigation of value at this point is the FBI investigation and the Foreign Affairs Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which means there is no crime just yet. There is no crime. There's only assertions made to be provocative enough to have you all talking about it. We're not talking about the fact that the U.S. Senate now has the health care bill on their floor and haven't done anything about it. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the fact that we kicked the can down the road with the Republicans in our office to boost the debt ceiling and then keep the budget going collectively until the end of the fiscal year. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the fact that money is still going to Planned Parenthood. We're not talking about the fact that money is still going to a certain segment of immigrants who are coming here illegally. We're not talking about that. You have conservative, quote-unquote conservatives, who are spending their time talking about this crap, which holds no merit, none whatsoever. Don't entertain me with this crap, because I'm not going to really talk about it anymore. It is of no value. When you come back with something, all you millennial reporters, when you come back with Watergate, let me know. And then I'll listen. We'll be right back, right after these messages.
Shekinah Ranch is involved in helping youth through the snags along the pathway to adulthood. The last 8 years have created greater challenges. Having a president to parade perversion to our youth has generated the need for us to ramp up our character learning 100-fold. Today's youth are confused. Our goal is to give them a fresh understanding of creation, moral clarity, respect for authority. In short, restore absolutes and boundaries. Boys are born boys and girls are born girls. God's design. Right is right even when no one else is doing it. The Exceptional Conservative Network is underway to raise $10,000 to help advance this mission. Together, let's reverse the confusion aimed at our youth. Don't be a spectator. Go to our donation portal and make your financial contribution. Do it now. Your gift goes towards helping youth get clarity. Moral clarity. Thank you.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Okay, folks, that's not how it goes. I think I'm Shannon, and you're Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. We are The Right Way with Shannon and Mike.
Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Live on SHR Media.
And on TECN.
Where we'll be talking about all kinds of things.
From sports and politics.
To food and entertainment.
To money.
Family.
And anything else in between.
Community, holidays, all kinds of things.
It'll be great. Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Begin your mornings the right way with some right thinking from me, Perry Drake, your friendly neighborhood drive-by pundit. I want you to join me every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Central Time on the Exceptional Conservative Network. From politics to pop culture to relationships to whatever else is on your mind, we have a great deal to talk about. Join in and let's get the talking started.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to the Exceptional Conservative Show live from Washington, D.C. Listen, big guest this Sunday at 10:05 a.m. on the Exceptional Conservative Network, specifically on the Real Clear Israel show with the lovely Leslie Stoffel. Pam Jeller will be on this Sunday live on her program. Yes, Pam Jeller will be on her program live. And I'm going to encourage you all to come on Sunday at 10:05 a.m. You can come earlier at 9. That's normally when I'm on. But just in case you don't want to, definitely come at 10:05. Pam Geller will be on. And she'll be talking about everything Islam. Stuff that you really need to know. Listen, we hit the 10 o'clock mark. I want to thank all the great people for tuning in tonight and listening. We are coming back in the second half, and we are talking with Janis Hall, the J. Hall World Report, about some of the issues that are going on around the world. We're going to be talking about North Korea and the threat and ever-growing risk that we're taking with playing around with North Korea. We'll be right back with more of the best right after these messages. Somebody's actually going to get paid to start a business. Oh, my God. I wish I was a teenage pregnant woman.
Thank you for the taking the call. And I really enjoy ICRN, your station, the station I listen to all day.
No, yeah. Okay, thanks, Dominique, for that.
Money Talk with Melanie is a lively discussion of global, domestic, and kitchen table financial topics. Join your business diva, Melanie Collette, as I speak with respected entrepreneurs, CEOs, authors, and politicians as we explore today's fiscal environment. Money Talk with Melanie airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Remember, this is important because it's your money.
Hello, this is Leslie Stoffel with The Real Clear Israel. Join me every Sunday morning at 10:05 Eastern Time on the Exceptional Conservative Network, where we'll be discussing Israel with guests from Israel and around the world.
That's The Real Clear Israel, 10:05 Sunday on the Exceptional Conservative Network.
I'm David Longoria, trumpeter and singer. Join me Saturday, May 20th as we celebrate the 19th annual White House Day of Prayer. We will join together for prayer and uplifting and leave our politics behind. There will be leaders from across the country as well as artists singing and praying together for our people, our nation, and our leaders. I will be joined by a 1,000 voices choir as we perform my new song of unity, We Are One. Come to the White House lawn in the Ellipse Park Saturday, May 20th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Register now online for free at whitehouseprayer.org.
We're not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation. First to the Republican, and then the socialist. TECS, the Exceptional Conservative Show. We got our own thing, baby. Come to the exceptionalconservativeshow.com and join me for the best in urban conservative talk. The dream deferred is real. You've been waiting for the Exceptional Conservative Network, and now it's here. Go to the exceptionalconservativeshow.com. Tune in and get the best in urban conservative talk. Stop dreaming. It's real.
The election of Donald J. Trump was an amazing victory, but that was just the beginning. Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, America the Beautiful has been under a horrendously ugly progressive-leaning attack for decades. The effort to turn the United States into a socialist progressive hellhole is a non-stop effort. Thus, it is more imperative than ever to not sit on our laurels and allow the progressives to continue to destroy the United States through the indoctrination of our republic's student population, in the classroom or even in progressive-oriented churches. For what is taught to one generation dictates the direction the nation takes in the next. The Donald will soon take on the monumental task of dealing with the restoration of the economy, religious liberty, our borders, the protection of the unborn, etc., etc. The progressives are going through stages of grief as they try to bring about unrest, but will ultimately fail. Enjoy the victory, America, but keep up the fight against those who long to destroy your republic. God bless you, God bless America, and may America bless God.
Happy days are here again.
I'm Ron Edwards.
Hi, my name is Willie Lawson of The Willie Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network, Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. They told me that I needed to be humble, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I decided to be awesome instead. That's The Willie Lawson Show, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. here on the Exceptional Conservative Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all should just be in the chat room. You really should. The Euro Pacific Bank Limited TECN chat room that we have here at the exceptionalconservativeshow.com. When you hit the TECS tab, you come right on in. And I'm telling you, the most fun is going on with Mary Brockman in there. You got Deborah Blair Frazier, who is my assistant, as I am chairman of the network. And I really appreciate all that she does for us. Behind the scenes, she keeps this operation really rocking and rolling. Also want to thank Dave Milner for being here and Claudia Cheek as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, the correspondence going between Dave and Mary is just hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And I'm so glad to be a part of their life with us here at TECN. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some changes that are coming to TECN. There are growth pains that go along with that, and I'm all right with it. You know, being 5'6", I haven't grown that much in my life, but I know when I jettisoned from 5'2" to 5'6", what my knees felt like. I understand what that feels like, and that goes on with a corporation like ours, with an organization like ours, and so starting on Thursday, Ralph J. Chittum Sr. will be moving from the drive time spot, and he will be doing 8 o'clock in the evening, right before our show. So you'll get a chance to tune in to him at 8 o'clock at night. Then you can listen to me from 9 to 11. And then you'll have on Mondays and Thursdays, Randy and April Perm with a show called The New. And we're going to have them on the air with us tomorrow evening at 9:10 p.m. And we'll be talking with them about all things that are hilarious and funny. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, you have Sir Mark the Bloviating Zeppelin. And tonight, I want you all to go to shrmedia.com, shrmedia.com, and get ready for Sir Mark the Bloviating Zeppelin. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. Sir Mark the Bloviating Zeppelin. And on Wednesday nights, of course, it is Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, and Sir Mark the Bloviating Zeppelin again, but it's Sackheads Radio at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast and 8 p.m. on the West Coast. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're putting together a 24/7 lineup, whether it's on the cable, on the internet TV portion, or on SHR. And so whatever you think of me, know that I'm going to leave a legacy behind that is completely brilliant. And I want you to know that I'm recruiting very hard for the person that's going to replace me in the 9 o'clock hour, a post that I've been hosting here for over a year, succinctly, and years before that. But my goodness, I thought I had turned this thing. Forgive me. It's like, my goodness, how does the phone? How does it? How do y'all? Okay, there we go. No ringy. Ladies and gentlemen, at this hour of the night, we pick up the phone and we call Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report, and we talk about everything that's going on in the world, as much of it as we possibly can. And let's get her on the line now. Janis Hall, J Hall World Report. 1 ringy dingy. 2 ringy dingy. Good evening, Ms. Hall. This is the Exceptional One, Ken McClinton. It's a pleasure to have you on the air again with us tonight.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. Janis, I hear that the North Koreans have decided that not only do they want to put missiles going towards South Korea, they want to take missiles with nuclear warhead potential, and send them over to Alaska. And how do they do that? They started practicing sending them to Russia, which now has a very high alert, a military alert reaction against North Korea. So I want to ask you, has Little Kim lost his mind?
Possibly. I mean, there are several things to consider there. First would be, did he ever have a mind to lose? Secondly, he definitely seems to be going about life as if he plans to diss all of the friends he sort of might have had, because now he's essentially going after China.
Mm-hmm.
And Russia. And he's going to find out that they're not going to be particularly happy with him if he continues.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would also imagine that part of this is probably that since he now essentially does have nuclear technology and he's developing the missiles.
Hello, Janis? Did we lose Janis? I think we lost her. Let's see here. No, it says she's still here. Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we're going to give Janis a phone call. And definitely, I believe he's inbred. Yeah, I think that's a problem. I think he's gone. You start firing missiles at Russia, I think you're gone. I really do. We'll be right back with more of the best in urban conservative talk. We're going to take our break early. When we come back, we're going to talk with Janis Hall, the J. Hall World Report.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
I'm Ken McClinton, chairman of the Exceptional Conservative Network. Never has the cry for economic liberty been more resounding in urban America than on Election Day 2016. It's the economy. All real change begins with the American entrepreneur. Socialism did not work. Progressivism stole the wealth of individuals and families. You voted for something different. Real change. But what does real change look and sound like? It looks like Las Vegas, and it sounds like Freedom Fest 10. Freedom Fest, the world's largest gathering of free minds, is a popular liberty-minded conference at the beautiful Paris Resort in Las Vegas from July 19th to the 22nd. Hear the voices of the urban freedom movement: Deneen Borelli, Larry Elder, Gina Lofton, Helen Rowley, Juan Pablo Agrande, and Zayad Abdullah. Share ideas with powerful liberty movement figures like Steve Forbes, Jim Rogers, Anthony Scaramucci, Jennifer Grossman, Naomi Brockwell, Dinesh D'Souza, John Stossel, Lisa Kennedy, Peter Schiff, and our keynote speaker this year, William Shatner. Your money, your liberty, your freedom, your city. Come for the real and return with the change. Register now at freedomfest.com for $100 off the regular registration rate when you use the all caps code TECN. We'll see you there.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Exceptional Conservative Show, live from the nation's capital. We are going to, one more time, let's try to get Janis Hall back on the line. There we go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
Hello.
Hello, Janis. How you doing?
I'm good, but may want to kill Google for dropping me. Or we could just say it was the North Koreans. They're trying to stop me talking about them.
It may have been North Korea doing that. But speaking of that, over the weekend, there was a ransomware that was used and has been used to shut down many, shut down hospitals. It was shutting down businesses. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I guess it started on Friday, and then generally it was hitting businesses, and as you were saying, it hit the British National Health Service. It hit some other businesses as well, and I think some Russian government systems, I think it's too. And as far as I heard, I think actually Russia was one of the hardest hit in this hacking. And China also had issues too. So the theory that came out today was that it is perhaps, maybe, there's a lot of qualifiers on this, that it could have been North Korea that did this.
Yep.
And yes, it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
It also could not have been. But
it's a coincidence.
It could go either way. But I definitely think that it definitely made big news in that it affected a lot of systems. And a lot of people, not even only they were affected, it changed how businesses were able to do what they were doing because some of them just took preventative action to try and not even get the virus in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, it caused a lot of chaos. Apparently, it's dying down yesterday and today.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's kind of interesting in the fact that it's technically ransomware, right? So basically locks out your files, and then you supposedly have to pay it to get them back. But it doesn't seem to be doing a very good job of that because hardly anybody is actually paying. Thus, whoever made it is not making a considerable amount of money.
Yeah, I think they only made like $50,000 off of this deal, but I don't think it was for that particular purpose. I really believe that I believe that the North Koreans did this on purpose to strike at Russia, because they sent the missile.
It's possible, and or just an attempt to get into government and business systems. I mean, yes, it was ransomware, but it could have easily been another type of virus that did something else too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that in the age that we live in, I think that these threats are going to continue, and I do think that one of the national security things that we in the U.S. and probably around the world are not taken particularly seriously enough is hacking.
Yeah.
Whether it be by North Korea, China, Russians, or ISIS. It's not good. We have a lot of systems that are vulnerable.
Exactly.
And I think that it's something we need to start working on.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. One of the things that we should be very concerned about is that they are beginning to use warheads that give out lower than, low pulse energy bombings in terms of their testings. So we're not talking about they're testing nuclear weapons. We're talking about they're using systems that could destroy utilities, shut down electric, cut down computer technology to the point where they could actually shut down the dam over Niagara Falls. They are, from what I gather, attempting to upset the balance of the world and bring it to the feet and bring us all to our feet before Kim. And we've known about this pulsar threat since 9/11 back in 2001. And yet we don't seem to be anywhere near prepared from someone taking out our utilities. And I want you to talk about that for those who are listening around the world, the absolute threat that a madman has that could take down nations.
Yes, I mean, it's basically just as you said. The developed world is pretty much entirely dependent on computers right now. Pretty much everything, utilities, businesses, basically everything runs on computers. And if computers are disrupted, that essentially brings absolutely everything to a standstill, wherever it is.
Yeah.
And so if someone who has nefarious purposes, does in fact do something like that, then yes, it's a huge, huge problem.
Yeah.
And you're right in the sense that we are not prepared.
Yeah.
We're not. And there's been a lot of discussion, obviously, about ISIS, and and according to the Democrats, the Russians are clearly the biggest threat as well. But there's been very, very little about technology. And I would really like to see the government put a bit more effort into securing systems.
Exactly. This is really scary because remember we talked a few months ago about Germany and Angela Merkel telling the German people that they need to have at least 2 weeks supply of food and water just in case something happens.
Right.
And we've heard in America, we probably have no more than 3 days worth of, leftovers and things, stuff that would sustain us before we went crazy. And literally, there is a serious threat that a rogue nation like Iran, like North Korea, and rogues in general, like ISIS, could strike us. As great as we are as a nation, they could strike us at a utility field, and that would be it. Is there any consideration by our government or maybe others on what we can do to prepare for such a catastrophic occurrence?
I think basically what you said, preparing with, just having your supplies of food and water, which, regardless of hacking, everybody should have anyway. And it's hard.
Yeah, it's
right?
hard.
Because,
Yeah, it's hard. People can't imagine Venezuela happening here. You know what I'm saying? They can't imagine people in the middle of the streets throwing rocks at government troops or military troops who are trying to keep the peace in the city because all the bread is out. There is no one reasons that. When you can go to the Apple store, there is no reasoning here for anything of that catastrophic situation to happen. And I'm going to do that as a segue to talk about Venezuela and the possibilities of what can happen for a non-economic catastrophe. Venezuela is an economic one. Can you tell everybody what's happening in Venezuela?
Venezuela is crumbling. It technically still exists. I think Maduro is still technically in charge, but we continue to inch ever closer to a coup. There's been a few dozen deaths that they've had in the past few weeks. There's been hundreds of people that have been injured. The protests are happening all the time. And I'm not just going to say protests either. There's violence and rioting involved as well. There's starting to be indications that some of the military will not be the top, but the middle and lower ranking military personnel are potentially could be leaving, or at least not in Maduro's camp, because they themselves are facing problems of not having any food or medicine either. And so that's certainly and I'll say one other thing, and that is, even though Maduro might think that a lot of his top officials are loyal, there does come a point when even if you are loyal or were, you think or you begin to contemplate that you just can't save the situation for that person.
Yeah.
And that person has to be removed. And we're probably close to being there. And I think it's kind of interesting in that this isn't really a question of if it happens. It's going to happen. Venezuela's going to collapse. Maduro will be gone in some fashion, and somebody else will be taking over.
No.
And this is just, I mean, that's just what was going to happen 2 years ago or more when we started talking about it. This is what happens. This is where it goes. It's not really a question of if, just when.
Exactly. And in this particular case, because there are people around the world, you were a head start on everything. There are media even here that are not reporting on what's happening in Venezuela because it's a daily decay. It really it's the worst form of tooth decay to watch. The degradation of that nation, and the media here is not really paying any attention to that. They rather talk about the nonsense of Russia influencing elections and Comey whispering over a telephone to a Washington Post reporter about a potential constitutional crisis. Literally, Maduro only has a small group of military persons who are around him. It is a very high possibility right now that a military junta could get started and the overthrow take place. What's the only thing that's holding him up at this point? That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean, it is still the military, right? That's pretty much the only thing that is still holding the situation at all. And it's because people at the top are still essentially getting fed. But you can only have protests and riots continuously for so long. Nothing can last forever, and something will change, and it will be that Maduro is gone. Somehow.
Now, are we planning on helping find someone that could lead Venezuela? I mean, maybe, we find somebody who just might help move them away from socialism, or are we going to stand off and just watch it crumble?
Good question. For the moment, I don't think we're doing anything. They seem to be crumbling, and it's just perfectly fine by themselves. It would be good if not necessarily we have influence in any way, but if a non-socialist were to come to power and or reinstitute democracy, because that would be a novel thing to have back in Venezuela. I do imagine that kind of depending how things go and who takes over in the interim, we could definitely approach that person and that government to assist, or who knows? These things don't always go the way we want them to either.
The crazy thing, Janis, is that we were talking about this last week, and then the next day, the reports were all over CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They were talking about the fact that Venezuela is near death, on this death net. And I'm admiring you because you are so far ahead of everybody else in covering this particular story, and also the Philippines story and so many others. But literally, I'm thinking based on the past performance of you being on the program, I'm thinking tomorrow morning it's going to crumble because you've just been so far ahead of everybody.
Possible, but I've been thinking this for a really long time, and it still hasn't happened. So I don't know how it's still technically surviving. I mean, who knows? Right now, it could be imploding. We don't really know. I haven't checked my, the news in the last 20 minutes.
Exactly. People don't know this, that it really is a moment-to-moment crises. This isn't like maybe by next year they'll get it together. Really, this is a moment by moment crisis that's about to happen there.
Yes, it is. And it's basic, and it was inevitable. I guess that's one of the things that's slightly frustrating, in that I'm not going to say necessarily that history repeats itself, but there are definitely trends. And when you have a lot of unhappy people that don't have any money and that don't have any food or medicine or anything, eventually you get to the point where the leader is removed in some fashion or another. It's basically inevitable.
Exactly. There's another world story that I wanted to talk with you about. I just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And it happened in Thailand. And apparently, the new king of Thailand, King Maha Vajiralongkorn, or something, King Maha, that's what I'm going to go with for Thailand. Someone using their mobile phone while he was walking through, because he's new, he's just the new king. As he's walking through the mall with his wife beater t-shirt on and all of his tats showing, and walking through with a crew cut or whatever, someone snaps his picture. Now, of course, you're not supposed to do that, right? In Thailand, you're not supposed to snap the picture of the king. But someone did. And as a result of them putting it on Facebook, Facebook is now under threat in Thailand. Because you're not supposed to, kind of like Muhammad, you're not supposed to show the picture of the king and anything else but his royal regalia. And apparently, the picture of him walking through the mall with a crop top and wife beater was too much. And as a result of that, Thailand has asked Facebook to turn off some of its pages, and that they will be taking a closer look to what goes on with Facebook in their country. Now, this is not a murder that took place on camera in Thailand. This is not a rape that took place. This is the king walking through the shopping mall with a crew cut and a wife beater t-shirt. Are they crazy in Thailand?
I mean, a lot of people do this. A lot of people don't like an image that came out about them, so they want to remove from social media. I don't see this going anywhere. I mean, the image is out. That's it. It's over. It's never going away.
Really? Oh, man. Oh.
Well, I mean, okay, tomorrow we'll probably be talking about something else, and everybody will have forgotten about it.
I thought this was big sensational news that King Maha was caught walking through the mall with a wife beater t-shirt on. And first and foremost, isn't it his fault that he got caught on camera? Why are they blaming Facebook?
Well, a little bit. I think that I'm gonna say the fashion choice could have been better.
Yes, it could have been. It should have been. Should have been better. Janis, we love you deeply. We love you dearly. We thank you for being on with us every Tuesday night for the J Hall World Report. And we will keep a very close eye on North Korea and Venezuela. I don't think we're talking enough about those. And I thank you so much for covering those stories for us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. God bless. Janis Hall, the J Hall World Report. And this is what I love this segment more than any other segment that we do on any of the networks that we're on. I really do. Janis is leap years ahead of everybody else. And it's a pain when they finally catch up. If only they had listened to Janis. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of the great people in our chat room. BZ is in there, and his show will be coming up this evening. In fact, in about 33 minutes. we will be hearing. Well, BZ knows that I can't tell time because my clock doesn't work. So it does work, but I just have to get up there and fix that thing. But at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, Berserk Bobcat Saloon will take place. It will be on shrmedia.com, shrmedia.com. I'm encouraging you to go there, and I'm putting the link in there. I want you all to go there without a shadow of a doubt at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and listen to one of the great orators and presenters of news and commentary in America, if not the world, certainly the bloviating Zeppelin. Also, Bruce Wayne is in our chat room. Thank you, Batman. Claudia Cheek, the beautiful Claudia Cheek, is in there. Dave Monoleg Milner is also in there. Deborah Blair Frazier rejoined us. Beautiful Kel Fritzy, love you. Smooches, glad to have you here. One of the world's best producers. And of course, Mary Brockman. If you diss her, you diss me, you will be dismissed. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking to the newest hostess. Yeah, there will be two hostesses for TECN.BIZ, and number 2 will be coming up right after these messages.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Human by race, Christian by faith.
It's a love story like
American by nationality, conservative by choice. It's Reverend Ralph Chittum's The Right Guy on the Exceptional Conservative Network from 4:05 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. The Right Guy on TECN.
Hi, my name is Willie Lawson of the Willie Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. We have a brand new show on at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. We are bound to make you think. We are bound to make you see things differently. We are bound to push you into action for not only your community, but your country. That's the Willie Lawson Show on the Exceptional Conservative Network, 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. See you there.
I'm Ken McClinton, chairman of the Exceptional Conservative Network. Never has the cry for economic liberty been more resounding in urban America than on Election Day 2016. It's the economy. All real change begins with the American entrepreneur. Socialism did not work. Progressivism stole the wealth of individuals and families. You voted for something different, real change. But what does real change look and sound like? It looks like Las Vegas, and it sounds like Freedom Fest 10. Freedom Fest, the world's largest gathering of free minds, is the popular Liberty-Minded Conference at the beautiful Paris Resort in Las Vegas from July 19th to the 22nd. Hear the voices of the urban freedom movement: Denise Borelli, Larry Elder, Gina Lofton, Helen Riley, Ramesh Wadhwa, and Zayad Abdul-Nawab. Share ideas with powerful, liberty-minded figures like Steve Forbes, Jim Rogers, Lee Edwards, David Boaz, Doug Casey, Dinesh D'Souza, John Stossel, Lisa Kennedy, Peter Schiff, and keynote speaker William Shatner. Your money, your liberty, your freedom, your city. Come for the real and return with the change. Register now at freedomfest.com. That's freedomfest.com for $100 off the regular registration rate when you use the all caps code TECN. We'll see you there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for joining me this evening on the Exceptional Conservative Show on the Exceptional Conservative Network. I told you that this is a jam-packed night. There's so much going on. Tomorrow there will be a press conference in Washington, D.C. at 6 p.m. that I will be attending at React Radio to kick off the actual book drive in Washington, D.C. for the new Janis Milton bookstore. Yes, my daughter, who was killed 2 years ago, her anniversary of her death will be in a couple of weeks, in fact, and we will be celebrating her life and remembering her murder in Washington, D.C. At We Act Radio on the 27th. But I want to play this clip for you, and I want to thank Delia Goncalves of Channel 9, also Kamon Freeman of We Act Radio for making this all possible and honoring my daughter, Janis Milton. I hope that you can get the sound quality at the highest level.
Bring the stories off of the normal pages and make them alive and aware for people in the community. Janis had a great passion for being in Southeast Washington, D.C. and telling the stories that most people would just pass by and not think were important. She made them important in the pages of the Hill Rag and the East of the River paper. She was a tremendous writer and a tremendous reader. And this is why it's very important for us to support this particular endeavor and this initiative, to give a book back because you love what it's done for you. Janis would have given this book here to We Act Radio for this particular purpose because she loved this book, she loved reading. And I'm going to encourage everyone out there to honor my daughter by bringing a book by We Act Radio, a book that you love, not just something you want to throw away, but something that impassioned you because she was impassioned by what she read and she lived a life accordingly.
And this is a way to honor her legacy.
A tremendous honor. I want to thank the great people at React Radio for considering her in this regard. And it gives us hope for all parents of unresolved homicides and missing persons and human trafficked children. This gives us hope. And
hope that people haven't forgotten.
Forgotten is one said or lost.
Does it get any easier?
No. While I'm very thankful for the opportunity and the honor, every day is a day lost today. You don't get back. The hurt is more resounding in silence than it is amongst the noise of the people around you. You feel it. It doesn't go away.
What do you want people to know when they walk into this bookstore? What do you want them to know and feel about Janis?
I want them to know first and foremost that my daughter cared about this community. She loved where she was born, she loved where she lived, and she loved where she died. And in fact, she could have done anything else with her career, but she chose this community. And she wanted to pass on what she loved to the people that loved her. And she's done it today. That's what I want people to remember. That she got on Good Hope Road, and there's always good hope for all of us.
Okay, hang tight for just a second.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. My interview with Delia Goncalves of Channel 9 News earlier today. There will be a press conference tomorrow at We Act Radio at 6 p.m. to tomorrow, Wednesday. I will be there, my wife will be there, and we will also hear from the Metropolitan Police Department. They will give an update on the case regarding Janis Milton, but we will also be promoting the library that will be named in our daughter's name. Now, without a shadow of a doubt, there is a young woman that I want you all to know. Lacee Steigerwald is that lady. You know her as the radio, forgive me, on Blog Talk Radio. She's about to make her transition to the TECN family. And we are so grateful and so thankful to have Lacee with us as part of TECN.BIZ. She is just as brilliant as she is beautiful, and she is the doll of Austin, Texas. Good evening. It is so great to have you on the air with us.
Well, hi, Mr. McClinton. It's wonderful to be here with you.
Well,
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, I was stalking you on Blog Talk Radio.
That's normal.
Thank you. You are brilliant as the Raven, and I wanted to find out from you, what the people who are going to be gratified by you and Talitha McEachin taking up the 4 to 6 slot drive time in America. The first women actually to do drive time, hold down the whole afternoon. So congratulations to you all.
Oh no! Congratulations to her too. That was cool to see, and I knew you were on the same page with me.
Yeah, see, we all right. But I wanted to get from you tonight, why were you interested in coming to TECN, and why do you want to do business on business news on TECN?
Well, look, I mean, I've started to learn from my savior, basically, that you don't pass up every single opportunity that comes along your way, and with conservative even discussion, it never comes my way. Like, it never comes my way. I'm always about helping people, and I'm always about observing and recognizing when there's a problem, and I want to help. If I can do something, I'll get in there and do that. But with politics, with conservatism, just having a discussion with your neighbors has become difficult, if not dangerous.
Yes.
And so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing this. I don't feel like I have, I mean, I'm not looking to compete with anybody that I really respect and look at in the conservative world right now. It's just that I feel like they need help. I feel like there's not enough people to identify with on the conservative side, or even on the almost conservative side, the people that are on the fence, the people who are just part of this silent majority who just don't have a voice. And I seem to have a really annoying loud one that no one wants to listen to. And then here you were saying, hey, would you like to come talk with me? And I just think that's an awesome opportunity that I would never pass up.
Well, and listen, we adore you, and we thank you so much for taking us on and this actual opportunity on TECN.biz. You'll be joining Talitha McEachin out of the great state of Georgia, Georgia, that is. But Texas has been virtually a economic dynamo for America. In fact, if it wasn't for the economic activity in your lovely state, I mean, of all men, we would all be most miserable. I want to find out from you exactly why is Texas so great economically?
We have a certain big business. I think we open our arms to big business. I also think we have a certain kind of expectation of business owners here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's also this hard work ethic that's always been in Texas. It's kind of like an exceptionalism that you see in America, and what made America great. Texas is kind of like a microcosm of that. We also have tons of resources, natural resources, don't get us wrong, part of our, wealth comes from the ground. It comes from our oceans and our ports. And we just, we regulate that really well, I think. And I just think the talent of kind of conserving all of that and keeping that really lucrative is just kind of one of Texas's talents.
Now,
on top of it,
you are a brilliant woman. I've listened to you as the Raven on Blog Talk Radio. Your analytical skills are off the chain. Have you always been so brilliant with analysis and because you were analyzing Rush Limbaugh, breaking it down? You were doing a tremendous job. What got you motivated to do that kind of thing?
Honestly, I love observing people. I've always been an observer, kind of I'm an only child, and so I never really had any kind of
entertainment. My entertainment was watching other people and kind of trying to figure out why they did what they did and what motivated them. And also on top of it, I'm kind of a nerd about history, and applying those analytical skills to history kind of gives me this window into what is going on today. And when you do that kind of research and you see all these things that you recognize, you kind of look at it as not just signs, but like obvious things that people should be already aware of. And right now it seems like not many people are aware of a lot of obvious things, and the nation is suffering for it.
Exactly.
So I as a voice of concern, it's just like caring for your children and being very into the future. I'm very into future things like sky cars and science and
that's cool.
I know, kind of the weirdest conservative you've ever heard of.
No, you're a geek like me. Come on.
Well, yeah, like there's a lot of us. But there's not enough of us talking, out there so that they feel comfortable talking. And so what part of the mission that I hope you're looking towards doing is pulling people into the conversation that may not normally want to talk, or may not want to hold online to talk to Rush Limbaugh for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
It's just not accessible. I'm very accessible. I love to answer questions. I love to get into what people care about. And, if they care about the aliens or the Anunnaki or the sky cars or the healthcare plan, let's talk about it. And I can help them kind of maybe understand what they don't understand, and maybe they can help me understand what I don't understand. And
exactly.
vice versa.
I love when I got into radio, the whole concept of bringing complex issues down to the kitchen table so that people could understand it. And they don't have to sit at the water cooler while some little Democrat geek is sitting there trying to explain in variant tones the reasonings. Yeah.
The big words
Mm-hmm.
that they may not even understand, but they use them in order to shut people up. It's just, whether you just don't want to listen to it or you can't compete with it. You're not loud enough. You're not a celebrity, or you like or you don't agree with a certain celebrity. It's gotten that bad.
Exactly. We got 1 minute left, and I have to go. But I want to thank you, Lacee, for saying yes. And I'm going to ask everybody in our chat roll to make sure that you go to her Facebook page and that you like her and that you love her, because Lacee will be one of the hosts. She will be doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Talitha McEachin will be doing Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. And we're looking forward to that getting started next week after Memorial Day. So take the break. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun making business understandable for everybody. Lacee, thank you so much. And God bless you. And we'll be talking very soon.
God bless you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
No, thank you. God bless you. We'll be talking very soon. And did I say your last name correctly?
Steigerwald.
Steigerwald. Yeah, there we go.
If you're from Pittsburgh, it's Steigerwald.
See, I thought. See, and I hate Pittsburgh because of the hockey team. Anyway.
Oh my God! Say that. My brother-in-law is in the other room. We can't do that.
You all just beat up on the Capitals. I can't take it.
No, the underdogs. We got to do a discussion about underdogs.
We definitely do. Lacee, we love you. Thank you so much, Ms. Steigerwald, and we look forward to you taking on TECN.BIZ. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, I am so excited about the future of TECN. The last days have not necessarily been the best of days, but I love the fact that we are growing, and as we put away some of the old things, some new things are beginning to happen. When we come back from the break, I'm going to encourage you also to do something else. We'll be right back. I'm Ken McClinton, chairman of the Exceptional Conservative Network. Never has the cry for economic liberty been more resounding in urban America than on Election Day 2016. It's the economy. All real change begins with the American entrepreneur. Socialism did not work. Progressivism stole the wealth of individuals and families. You voted for something different. Real change. But what does real change look and sound like? It looks like Las Vegas, and it sounds like Freedom Fest 10. Freedom Fest, the world's largest gathering of free minds, is the popular liberty-minded conference at the beautiful Paris Resort in Las Vegas from July 19th to the 22nd. Hear the voices of the urban freedom movement: Deneen Borelli, Larry Elder, Gina Lofton, Helen Rowley, Juan Pablo Andlande, and Ziad Abdel Nouah. Share ideas with powerful liberty movement figures like Steve Forbes, Jim Rogers, Anthony Scaramucci, Jennifer Grossman, Naomi Brockwell, Dinesh D'Souza, John Stossel, Lisa Kennedy, Peter Schiff, and our keynote speaker this year, William Shatner. Your money, your liberty, your freedom, your city. Come for the real and return with the change. Register now at freedomfest.com. That's freedomfest.com for $100 off the regular registration rate when you use the all caps code TECN. God bless you. We'll see you there. God bless you indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, our hour has come to an end, and I just want to say to each and every one of you, make certain that you go to bloviatingzeppelin.net and that you tune in to Berserk Bobcat Saloon at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. All others, I want you to know, God bless America. It's time for America to bless God. We'll see you tomorrow night. And every woman in the chat room is beautiful, including Deborah.